To come in and join us. Volleyball coach at Caldwell Academy, state champs. Got a good crowd on hand tonight. Mr. Black is in the house. Good to see Bob Black. Yes, sir. Good to see him, my man. This is the man we owe this honor to. He helps
Absolutely.
set everything up.
Bob Black's a good guy.
He does a good job. I wouldn't have known about all this if Mr. Black wouldn't have contacted me there. He got with me last couple weeks. What you guys are doing.
He's a great supporter of our school. He does a lot of things, volunteers, crosswalk guy, and just a great supporter of high school athletics in the area.
And we see him on the other side of the street at those baseball games too, like you say, helping out over there.
Absolutely. He's always around. He loves Caldwell, loves the kids there.
And congratulations on that championship.
Thank you very much. So excited for the girls. It was just a great opportunity for them to show what they can do. Great season. 28-4. Definitely unexpected considering all the injuries we had this year. Lost our best hitter first week of the season. Tore ACL. But the girls just kept rallying. Conference champs for the second straight year. Tournament champs for the first time in school history. State champs. 3-0 this year against public schools. Beat Northeast, Southwest, and Page.
I saw those games. Wow, those are big wins.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take one away from another school, but that win against Page, because Page went pretty far in the playoffs too.
Yeah, Page is one of those schools that we put up there as a standard for volleyball in the area. And for us to go over there to their place and get a win, that was huge for our program.
How hard would it be to get a game against Northwest? Can you pull that off? It's just there's about a few miles between the two schools. Horse Pink Creek Road, not very far apart.
Northwest is on the list for next year. If we can get them on the schedule, we'd love to.
I think that would draw a very good gate.
I hope so. We're still trying to search for some respect in the area.
Right.
We felt like the Page win was good. It kind of showed that we can compete with anybody. Like I said, I'll take these girls and we'll go play against any school anywhere. Just call us up. We'll go.
And when you get these girls going and you play teams like Northeast and Southwest and Page, did you feel a level of respect from those opponents when you beat them? Because sometimes it goes the other way. They just kind of shrug it off. But did you feel like a pretty good level of respect at those games?
I think so. I told my girls when we go over to play these schools, I don't know if those people even know who we are.
Right.
So when we walk in the gym and we, we beat a Northeast easily or Southwest, the team at Page was really good. They took us in the first set, but we win the next 3. So when the people leave the gym, I think they know that we're a legit program.
And what is it about volleyball just coming together like it has the past year, especially season, because you win the state championship. Now Northwest is playing for a title on Saturday. How about all this?
Well, I know at our school we just have a lot of girls who've fallen in love with the sport. From our 4th and 5th grade on through high school, we have girls that play year-round volleyball. They're in the JO programs. I think we have 9 or 10 girls on our varsity team that play sand year-round.
Wow.
So they're just in the sport. They love it, and it helps us build our program up.
So a lot of the girls on your volleyball team, they're not basketball players too, I guess.
Because our basketball coach would love to have them. Coach Stewart would love to have some of these girls.
In the years past, it seemed like everything was like, the volleyball girls play volleyball to get ready for basketball. You saw that when you were younger in high school too.
Absolutely.
Guys playing other sports go to the next sport, but more specialized now then.
Definitely more specialized. I think that's unfortunately a way sports are going these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, our girls have just fallen in love with the sport, and they play all the time.
How did you become a volleyball man? Because we always thought of Dan as the baseball man out of Northeast from years ago. But when you get in sports, I guess if you kind of adjust and select yourself, you become a volleyball person too.
Yeah, it was kind of a joke to start with at Caldwell. These girls are laughing at me over here, but we went through 6 coaches in 7 years.
Wow.
And I was running open gym because we didn't have a coach. And one of our players at the time asked me, who's going to coach next season? I really didn't know. I was like, I'll probably just do it myself. So it kind of started off a joke, and then sure enough, I was there coaching volleyball, and I'm kind of been stuck in it for the past 4 years. And we've had
loving every minute of it probably too.
Loving every minute of it. We've been very successful. 4 straight 20-win seasons.
Wow,
we were 27-3 last year, made it to the state finals, and then this year 28-4 and got the job done. So can't take much credit. We have some very, very good volleyball players at our school, and great girls, great kids.
And you look at what you did there. From your standpoint now, I guess you're entrenched. You can't lead the program now.
Well, my daughter is actually over there somewhere. She's a 10-year-old. She's a 5th grader, so I might be in for a long time. We'll see.
And she will be with you somewhere down the road.
Somewhere down the road. She loves volleyball. She plays JO volleyballs right now as a 10-year-old, and she plays sand volleyball as well for Beach South, and she loves it. So I'll probably be around for a little bit.
Where do they meet for that sand volleyball? Where do they play that at?
We have courts over at Triad Park occasionally, and Beach South actually has their own facility. out in that area as well. They've got 2 courts out there that they play on.
Keeps everybody busy. You mentioned a JO program too. What's that?
Yeah, there's a couple of Junior Olympic volleyball programs
Olympic.
in the area. Prolific Power is one of them, and then Piedmont Volleyball Club over at the Sportsplex. A lot of the girls are involved there.
So I guess having a prolific partner by doesn't hurt either. That's kind of nice.
Doesn't hurt. A lot of our girls are either there, and a lot of them will make the trip over to Piedmont over at the Sportsplex to play.
You coach, you teach, you're the AD over at Caldwell. How did you get all this packaged together, and how do you ever pull all this off?
I have no idea. It's one of those things where I just love being a part of the school. It's a great place, great opportunity. I love being around the kids. The AD job is great. I enjoy it, but really, it's the job to get to the job you love, which is coaching, and that's really my passion for in life, is to be with kids and to coach.
And you mentioned before you went through like maybe 6 or 7 coaches over the 7-year period.
Yeah.
What were the records like before you took over? Was it pretty weak back in the day, maybe?
Yeah, the seasons were up and down. I joke with the girls all the time. I'll find some old videos, and we'll plug them in and watch, and definitely a lot slower pace, a lot worse volleyball. So things have definitely changed as these girls have come through the program. Just the level of play is on a totally different level.
How does it affect your overall sports program? Because the volleyball team doing exceptionally well now. Does that make the other programs also begin to step up? I know the girls basketball team's coming along well under Ren Stewart, but do all the other programs kind of see this and say, hey, we need to kind of head in that same direction?
I think so. I think we're just blessed at Caldwell to have coaches that really care about all their individual programs. One of the things as AD I focus on is just overall program excellence. And, you know, it's not all about boys basketball or boys soccer. All our girls teams won the conference championships last year. So every single sport in the Triad Athletic Conference, Caldwell won on the girls' side. So I love that we're showing excellence on both sides, boys and girls, and we don't emphasize one program. We want a complete program.
And Mr. Black mentioned it too. I think one of those teams, maybe the middle school volleyball team, one of the other teams, they had been unbeaten for like a couple of years now.
Several years now. I think they've got a 42-match win streak. Just a phenomenal players. And the crazy thing about their win streak is we're pulling their best 8th graders on a yearly basis.
You use them on your team.
To use on my team for JV. We pulled an 8th grader off their team. Georgia Cressman's actually here tonight. She's about 6 foot tall. We pulled her up this year to play middle when we had some injuries, and she performed great for us. So they're undefeated without even their top players at that level.
And when you win all those matches, 42 matches in a row, I mean, that's a lot of games, too, because you're actually playing the best out of 3 every time you go out there, right?
Yep.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah, but they love it. They would play almost every day, I think, if we let them.
How did that go back to that Davidson Day final match series there? How did that go? Because I think you may have lost one game in that match, right?
We did, and Davidson Day all year has been the top team in the 2A level. They were 22-1 going into the state playoffs. They beat us soundly at their place early in the year.
Wow.
We had to go down there and play. They beat us in 3 straight. Wasn't even close. We watched them play on Friday. Very good. They handled business. And then Saturday, they took the first set 25-14.
They won the first set.
They won the first set 25-14. Second set was back and forth, and we're ahead 25-24. And their coach argued a call for a little bit, and then she called a timeout. Well, they didn't have any more timeouts. So one of those Michigan type deals from basketball a few years ago.
Yeah.
So they lost a point. We won the set, and they never really recovered from that.
So the penalty, if you call a timeout, you don't have, you lose a point.
You lose a point, and that was actually game point. We went on in the 3rd set and beat them 25-8. And then the 4th set, we had a big lead. They rallied a little bit, but we had enough to hold on.
4th set, you go to 15?
5th set, you go to 15 if you get there.
Yeah,
it's best of 5.
Gotcha. So that was a best of 5 in that series there.
Yeah, best of 5, we won it in 4.
Usually the best of 3 in regular season matches?
Best of 3 in middle school volleyball.
Best of 5 in varsity.
Best of 5 at the varsity level.
That's a lot of action.
A lot of action, yeah.
And all the games except for the 5th game, they go to 25.
They go to 25, yes,
15.
sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we actually had to go 5 sets in our first matchup of the day on Friday against number 7 Harold's Christian. They actually jumped ahead 2-0 against us, 2-0. We were trailing 18-14 in the 3rd set, so we were this close to being knocked out of the playoffs.
So you had a timeout, right?
Yeah, I did.
You called a timeout.
I called a timeout. I got a yellow card. I did everything I could do to get some motivation going for the kids.
Up,
It seemed to work.
That's against Harold's Academy, your first game on Friday.
First game
and
on
you were
Friday.
down 2-0.
Yeah, we actually had parents looking up the hotel number to cancel reservations for the night. I was preparing my resignation speech for the locker room afterwards. It was bad.
What was the feel like after you actually won that, though? That feeling had to be very good there.
There was a lot of hugs in the locker room. A lot of emotions. We were so happy. I told the girls, though, I felt like our first match in the tournament would be our toughest one because the team we didn't know anything about. We knew they were going to be big. They had a couple 6-foot girls. They had a 6'3" player on the right side. Just a huge block for our girls to hit against. And I felt like that would be our toughest match. If we get through that one, I think we'd be all right because we had played the other teams and we had a good scouting report on them.
Now, your girls' basketball team, they go to the playoffs. They try to every year. They've had some obstacles to try to overcome there. How about the volleyball? What was their playoff history like? Had they been this far before any stretch in previous history?
I've coached for 4 years now. My first year at Caldwell as a volleyball coach, we advanced to the second round for the first time in school history. So we went to the quarterfinals 2 years in a row, and then last year we made it all the way to state championship, and then this year state champions.
So you've had some experience now with these girls. This is almost like reaching a point things have really come together.
Yeah, I think it was huge, especially for the girls that were there last year. You know, we won the first set last year in the state championship game, and then we lost 3 in a row. So the girls that played in that, they understood what it was like. They were able to handle that pressure. You know, Davidson Day was a #1 seed, and they're playing in Charlotte, which is their hometown. Hometown fans, and I told the girls if we can just keep it close, I think they'll start feeling that pressure. You know, the pressure being the #1 seed.
Did they have a lot of fans there behind them too?
Huge support section.
Wow.
So I just felt like, you know, if we could keep close, keep that pressure on, they'll start feeling that pressure as the #1 seed.
What facility? Where were you playing this at? Where is it being played at?
Friday we played at Gaston Day School in Gastonia, and then Saturday went to Covenant Day School, and they hosted the 1A, the 2A, and the 3A private school championships.
You like that deal where you play one place one day, then switch around another facility the next? You like that okay?
It was okay. I think the tough part for our girls is we were in the gym. You know, we got to Gaston Day School about 10 a.m. We wanted to get there early, get the bus legs out of there. We watched a match. We played at 1 o'clock, and then we sat in the gym forever. We played at 7:30 that night, and we left the gym after 10 o'clock. So the girls were exhausted. You know, had to play 5 sets in their first match, 4 sets at the 7:30 match. Got out of there at 10 o'clock, took them to McDonald's. It's about the only place open in Gastonia at 10 o'clock at night.
Were you driving the bus?
No, we actually had a bus driver with us, so
you got the free meal. Yeah.
But the girls were tired and exhausted, but it was a good tired and exhausted.
As a coach, you've been through that a lot before yourself. All that sitting around between games, that's kind of taxing on the players, right?
It is. I just told them, you know, after a match, you know, just go take a nap, go into the bleachers, rest, relax, and.
Are they into music like the guys are too?
They're into music. You know, different strokes for different folks there, but you know, they did a good job managing the time and getting some rest in, and I was surprised. I was concerned about what they would have left for the semifinals, and especially after playing 2 matches and leaving there so late. What do these girls have left on Saturday? And man, they played outstanding.
And Saturday was just the one game?
Saturday was just the one game.
That's kind of a good thing too, because you get the 2 games, have the hard work, and you got the one game to focus on, one game only.
The one game.
Winner take all. Against the #1 team in the state.
Against the #1 team in the state.
And what was your seed going in?
We were actually the 2 seed.
You were #1 versus #2.
Yep.
That's the way it should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. It all kind of worked out. We beat the 7 seed, and then we beat the 3 seed, and then
move it up one step at a time, then.
Yeah, one step at a time. Absolutely.
How do you decide where these girls are going to play? How do you decide how you position these girls on the court?
You know, it's just a process of learning what they do well, how they handle pressure, who works good together, and it's always in flux. You know, we're always changing things, trying to tweak things with our lineup to make sure we're doing the right things. And with our team this year, we had so many injuries. You know, we would come in for a match, and you know, we'd have a girl say, "I can't play, my back is out. You know, my back's hurting," or you know, "My neck's killing me," or you know, we had one girl forget to wear her official uniform on official uniform day, and she couldn't play. So we had to make up a new lineup and just run with it. You know. But the girls always responded, and I think that's the part of having just good all-around volleyball players. They're able to adjust and adapt and play different positions. And
once the ball is on your side of the court, can the girls actually move around on the court? Then do you have to stay in a standard position, or can you move around?
No.
What's the level like that?
You know, at that,
you rotate around, start moving, get going.
At that high level, you know, you're running girls from different positions on the net, all over the place, trying to mix it up so the defense doesn't know where it's coming from.
Who do you decide on who's going to be your best server? Who's the best server on the team, or do you have a best server?
You know, usually we try to put our best server first in the rotation. Lauren Buss for us, for the past 4 years has been our first server. And she's had over 100 aces pretty much every year.
So
in her
she
career.
can get something going, maybe keep it going to start that game.
The great thing about her is, she can put the ball where I call it. It's like calling pitches in baseball. So I'll call serves for her, and we'll pick out somebody on the other team, and we'll just keep serving it until they
you can almost see that because you get somebody like that, and the ball's going. And if you can place that ball to the weaker spot,
you just do it so much until the other team has to sub them out. You hit a hard serve a few times, and then you drop a short serve in. And having a player like her who has the ability to do that is really a good weapon.
Anybody still serve underhand? That was the deal. Everybody overhand now.
Not at Caldwell.
When you teach that, you teach them to hit it with this part of the hand, the heel of the hand. How do you teach that overhand serve?
If I'm working with little kids,
here's the thing about probably when you do this, most of these girls have already got this down before they even get to you. They've already got their serve down. But how do you instruct them to do it correctly?
Well, if I'm teaching little kids, it just depends on how big their hand is. But usually this flat part right here, I'll go with, or you ball it up right there. But at Caldwell, when they get in our program, we're just going straight overhand serves. We want to go right to that level and train them at a high level.
Talk about what you do as far as your defensive setup, something like that goes, as far as protecting the ball and trying to keep that ball in play and get it back on your side so you can serve and get points again.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us defensively is just blocking. We had our middle hitter go down first part of the season, our best blocker. We had 2 young ladies step up. We had a freshman middle hitter, Ellie Haldeman, who's here tonight, and Georgia Cressman, who's also here, an 8th grader, and they really did a good job setting the block for us. And our defense just reads off of that. And these girls hustle so well. Those 2 days in the state finals, they were bruised head to toe, elbows, knees from just diving and getting everything they had to dig balls up.
Do you teach those girls? How do you decide? How do they decide? I'll ask the players later. How do they decide about whether or not to go for that ball? It's near that back line. It's near that sideline going out of bounds. What kind of how much space do you give them to still go after, try to keep that ball in play? That's a tough decision to make.
It is, and it's all communication. It's hard for me as a coach to yell in or out from the sideline. They got to rely on each other and trust each other to make those calls.
How important are the 2 young ladies you brought tonight, Lauren Buss and Cassie Thompson? How important are they to your team?
They're huge for our team.
You take them away from your team. I know you still have a lot of young ladies playing their hearts out. Keep going, but how important do they?
Both those girls are all-conference players for us. Lauren Buss for 4 years. Just her hustle and effort. I think in the state playoffs this year, she's the one. She gives all-out effort, 100%. She's our setter. She's the communicator on our team, and she just does an outstanding job. Cassie Thompson on the outside was a beast in the playoffs. 44 kills in the 3 matches, 35 digs. They complement each other very well. They're actually beach partners in the off season, and just couldn't be prouder of those 2 young ladies and great kids.
So the beach volleyball is 2-on-2 action, right?
2-on-2, yes.
And how does that? You think that from your standpoint as a coach, you don't discourage that at all? Them playing away from your team and outside the regular norm, the regular system.
We have a lot of conversations as a group about beach and indoor and what it means. The girls will tell you about that. I love the fact that they're playing year-round. I love the fact that they're touching the ball. The tough part for me is some of the things they're trained in beach don't necessarily work well for indoors, just the way they go after some balls, how they dive on the floor sometimes. So if they could snap out of that a little bit faster, I would be a lot happier coach. But I'm happy that they're out there training and working.
How about that net strategy? The ball is around the net. You also teaching all those heavy kills, those heavy spikes, teaching that power play.
Yeah.
You also teach that finesse, that little touch play, just dropping it into.
Absolutely. That's how we actually won the state title. The game point.
I bet that felt crazy.
Lauren Buss hit a little tip shot over the net that the team wasn't ready for, and we scored it. I think that's one of the great things that they get from playing sand. They learn the touch on the ball, how to hit roll shots.
There's a lot of finesse involved in this. Some people realize.
A lot of finesse, seeing the court and know once there. Yep.
How you think about situations sometimes you got to. How bad is it when a ball hits the floor on your side? You just sit that one ball that actually nobody gets to that ball. You probably got nightmares about those kind of plays.
If it's a good hit, you just tip your cap and you respect what they did on their side. But if it's one of those free balls that just miscommunication, nobody calls it and just hits there, it drives you nuts as a coach.
And if nobody goes to that ball that hits the floor, you're going crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, how do you keep these girls up, keep them motivated, keep them pumped up? Because, the way things work in these schools, these younger players, younger children, you know how it works some days. They've had good days in school, some days bad days. Absolutely. They come out for a game. Sometimes the focus is not there. How do you keep them focused and straight ahead on the job at hand?
It's really tough. This is one of the things we talked about as a group all year, how you come into practice every day, getting the most out of your practice. And I will tell you, we weren't at 100% every match we played, and we got to understand that as coaches that they're not going to be there. How do we get through those matches where we're not going to be there? And somehow these girls kept finding ways to win. The one thing I'll say about my group this year is for the big matches we were always up. You know, it's the medium challenges or the lower level teams that we had trouble. And I think that's just natural part of athletics. But the big matches we were always ready for.
And you got to coach the girls as a team. Plus, you've also got to coach these ladies individually too. If they're having some tough time, you got to talk to them. You got to find another player. You may have to go to somebody you know and say you got to pick a team up. She's having a terrible day.
Absolutely, and I think we've had a great team this year in terms of leadership and girls. We speak to it. Seniors lead, but everybody has a part in leadership. And if seniors are down, the juniors need to pick it up. Even the freshmen. We have some amazing freshmen this year who aren't afraid to talk and pick up the slack if we have it on the court.
Like you said, that communication is a key, right?
Communication is key.
And you got to get the freshmen, communicate with the juniors and the seniors all together at one time.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part about our team this year. We were mostly underclassmen. We played 8 players in our rotation for the state championship, 4 freshmen and 1 8th grader. So really young team.
So you're saying that it leads to another good question. Do you see this as a developing trend now that volleyball is a program of fixture now at Caldwell, and you girls are looking ahead toward the future, pretty bright steps ahead?
I think so. Next year we pick up our middle hitter back, who's probably, in my opinion, one of the best hitters in the state. Her name's Amanda Jenkins, and we pick her up. We only lose 1 senior off our team this year. So I think we're going to be right back in the mix next year.
Are you coaching these already toward college aspirations in volleyball? Because before it was always other sports. Now volleyball's getting bigger too, so maybe a chance to get some college money and a college education academically in volleyball.
I think so. We had, my first year we had a senior named Susanna Ricard who's playing at Wingate University right now. We have several girls on this team I think have college potential. The tough part is for these girls, a lot of them are so strong academically, they're going to get opportunities at great academic schools, so they have to weigh their options whether they want to go play volleyball at maybe a smaller school or really pursue academic aspirations at some of these larger schools.
The smaller school, you're strong academically, you can also enjoy your volleyball time too.
Absolutely.
Have them both.
Just trying to find the right mix.
Find the right balance. Find that balance. Are you ready for basketball to start now? I know volleyball's been rolling. You got the state championship. You've celebrated that. Now what about basketball for you?
I am not ready for basketball.
You're wearing a lot of hats over there.
I'm not ready for basketball. I'm trying to get there slowly. I'm getting into the mix, getting into the flow. Feel a little bit behind schedule right now with how this year we had overlap with our season when normally we have a good day or 2 break before basketball starts. So I jumped right in the mix this week.
That's something you don't mind as much though this year.
I don't mind it. No, not at all.
Loving that championship.
Just trying to get in the flow. I'm enjoying working with Coach Short, our new varsity boys coach. We have some great coaches at Caldwell. Coach Stewart, who's been here talking with Greensboro Sports. He does a great job with our girls program. And I'm excited. Just going to take me a little bit longer. And then I'm counting down days to baseball season. That's my passion. And
you hit the baseball field and the volleyball girls, you found a way to get a good balance going, because sometimes these coaches that coach multiple sports, they may run into a team, they may say, oh, you're a basketball coach. Well, sometimes they kind of tug on the coach. You got to be with us.
Right.
That works.
I make fun with the girls all the time. Every year, first day of practice, I'm Coach Bozarth. I'm the baseball coach, and the girls, get a good laugh out of that, especially since I've been doing it for so long. But it is a good balance, and knowing when's a good time to work out in the off season. Spend the summer with the girls doing their off season training, and then with the baseball guys, we'll get started in January, February with pitchers and catchers and getting them ready for their season.
I would say maybe when I heard about Coach Bo when Mr. Black contacted me about the games and what had happened in championship. He said, you need to get in touch with Coach Bo. I thought, that must be another. I never heard of him, but I've heard of Coach Bozarth. Maybe Coach Bozarth was a baseball coach. Coach Bo was a volleyball coach. And maybe
same guy. Yeah, that's me.
You do them all?
I do them all. Yeah.
Your future at Caldwell, can you keep doing all this for a long, extended period of time? I know you're still fairly young.
I am still fairly young. I feel a little bit older every day, though, especially working with these girls over here. I love my job. I love Caldwell Academy. It's truly a great place to work, a great place to be associated with, and I love coaching. It's what I really am passionate about. And hopefully I'll be around for a long time.
And your background was Northeast Guilford High School, then you went to UNCG, and then also some graduate work too?
Yep, Northeast Guilford High School. Love the Rams. Anytime someone comes into practice with a Page shirt, Grimsley shirt, Southwest, Northwest, I tell them, got to change clothes, can't have that in my practice. And then UNCG and High Point University for grad school.
And got the master's over there?
Yep.
So you've got any thought about a doctor's degree one day?
Absolutely not.
Dr. Dan?
I'm done. I'm done with books, done with school. I'm happy with where I am.
Now, how do you make all this last? Now, you just won the championship. Now, the bad part about the sports is you win it one day, and the next day you got to go on to basketball. And I think you're right. How do you make this last and just enjoy the moment for a while?
Well, our school's done a really good job. We actually had an all-school assembly this morning, kindergarten through 12th graders in the gym, and we celebrated the girls. We brought them up, said a few words, had a nice little video presentation for them with some pictures from the season, and we have our team end of season celebration tomorrow night. And then sometime probably in January, we'll do a state ring ceremony where we get them state championship rings.
That's going to be really nice.
I think so. I think they'll really enjoy it.
You can't take those memories away like that. Those rings, that is really
an awesome experience.
Bona fide moment there.
Right.
Did you ever win any championships back when you were playing as a kid coming up? All titles back. You've experienced this somewhat before, a little bit then.
A little bit.
Not quite as big though, maybe.
Yeah, I was really blessed to be a part of a great baseball program at Northeast Guilford for Coach Chappell and Coach Lawing. We won a conference championship every year. We made some deep playoff runs.
Every year. Wow, that's great. That's
we won the conference championship every year. Actually got knocked out my senior year in the playoffs, third round by Havelock, and there was a pitcher named Everett Hancock who actually ended up teaching at Caldwell a few years ago.
Did he go to UNCG?
He went to UNCG. Everett.
He
was a good guy. You know, he made sure to bring it up every day.
I bet.
How they beat us in the state playoffs. So.
And you had a couple of. You're kind of a. This is what, 2015? You're kind of a 2015 kind of coach, but you had the old school coaches, Coach Lawing and Coach Chappell. Those are the old school guys. So those guys taught you right, maybe.
Yeah, Coach Chappell, Coach Lawing, Coach Walker, Buddy Walker from over at Greensboro Day School is my summer league coach. Just great guys to learn from. Awesome coaches. They really care about you as a person. They were tough but fair, and they ran a good program.
Well, who do you want to go through first, the senior or the junior player? Who's coming in first?
Let's go with Lauren Buss, the senior.
Let's bring her in.